One of the biggest myths about an older woman dating a younger man is that the woman is more mature than the younger man. It's very wrong. Because I am 12 years older than my husband, and I promise you, if you know us, I am more immature and he is more mature than me.
How much of an age difference is too much when pursuing older women to date? And if you're new here, my name's Christy. I'm a 50-year-old model, and I give you tips on how to date older women. Age is just a number, they say, right? Well, then there's really no set answer to the question of what is too much of an age difference. I think that even with age differences, relationships work because personalities work together. And you can have a young man who is much more mature than most men his age, and that can make him very compatible with a woman who's older than him. And at the same time, you can have women who are much older who have a much younger type personality, or just have a personality that fits better with a younger person. So you could have a 5-year difference, a 10-year, even a 20, and it can work. You don't see big extreme age differences of 20 and more that often, but they do happen. The primary thing is, don't be focused on the age difference. Be focused on whether you two are compatible in other ways than just age differences. Follow me for more tips on how to date older women.
Would you marry a younger man? Well, I did. I have some experience with it. I mean, a lot of people say, should older women marry younger men? After I got divorced from my husband, who was 10 years older than me, I went into the dating world, and guys that were younger were the only people that wanted to date me. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, I was brought up, I'm sure you guys know, guys want younger women. I thought that this was nuts. But I met a man 13 years younger. I wouldn't advocate for this, but after 3 weeks, we got married. And we were married for 16 years. It worked for 16 years. We're not together, but it had nothing to do with age. So I go back out in the dating world, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to put myself in a box. I'm going to try dating men of all different ages. Well, it just worked out. I am now happily married to my husband of 10 years, and he's 10 years younger. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Should older women marry younger men? I want to hear it.
This is why I don't date older men. I went on a coffee date with a man. He's 53. I met him on an app. Yes, a dating app. We went for one coffee. We sat together for an hour and we chatted. That was all good. He texted me probably that afternoon and said, when is it too soon to text? And thank you for the date. So he didn't ask me for a second date, which is fine. I'm all good with that. Whatever. Then a few days later, I get a text from him basically abusing me for uploading new photos on my profile. I'm not an idiot. I can see you've uploaded new photos on your profile. You've lost every bit of respect from me. This is why I don't date older men. He's obviously got some issues there. I'm not his girlfriend. I met him for 1 hour for one coffee. Guys, you don't own me because you had a coffee with me. This is why I don't date older men.
You know what? I'm going to just say it, and I know how y'all like to fight, but I want the smoke. All age gap relationships are not the same, especially the ones where the woman is older than the man. Y'all be like, oh, Drea's disgusting. Oh, I think it's atrocious for a 40-year-old woman to be dating a 24-year-old man. No, it's not. It's literally not. And it's literally not the same as a 40-year-old man dating a 24-year-old woman. Why is it not the same? Because women are just far less sinister. Statistically speaking, women are far less sinister than men. Men of all ages are mostly after sexual gratification. If something transpires deeper than that with a woman, amazing. Wow, a miracle. Women can be after the same thing, But most of the time, they're after companionship, company, someone to connect with. Everybody and their mama got an opinion on Drea and her 20-some-year-old. Meanwhile, that man has not complained about Drea once. Not once. He actually looks like he's fully enjoying whatever relationship they have. And if he didn't have a baby with her, he was going to do it with somebody else, because he did. He has a whole other baby that's the same age as Drea's with a young bitch. Everybody acting all fake concerned. No, it's masked jealousy. Y'all are jealous of her. He's a YN with money that knows what he wants and can do whatever the fuck he wants. And y'all mad at Drea?
Why older women desire younger men. Let's talk about it. So this is part 2. I already dropped part 1 yesterday where I discussed why younger men desire older women. So let's complete the conversation to give you a full psychological and sexological understanding of why then some women that are older desire to be with younger men. Biggest reason, you girls called it in the other video where you hinted about vitality and energy. So younger men tend to have more stamina, spontaneity, and even creativity or play within sexuality and in the connection itself. Women, older women especially, can be very burnt out on caretaking, so they desire sexual energy to be lighter without any heaviness or conditions aligned with it. Number 2, reversal of cultural script. So society, as we all know, can often perpetuate this ideology that women as they age, they lose their value, especially erotic value. So being with then a younger man flips that script from where a woman is deemed to be invisible to now her having the experience of being irresistible. Number 3, control and confidence. With aging, if the woman is doing the internal work, comes a great leap in confidence, internal, not arrogance, grounded confidence, and also the freedom of insecurities. So an older woman can enjoy guiding a younger man into life's pleasures, guidance in life's directions, and especially into her own pleasure. And it's less about teaching and much more aligned to being freedom from any sexual insecurity. And older women are way less likely to perform pleasure. They are much more likely to be present for pleasure by always putting their pleasure as part of the equation. Whereas younger women, because of societal pressure and psychological conditioning to meet all of these milestones that you're supposed to meet, are more likely to be performative in life, in roles, and also in sex, where their sexual desires is usually focused on satiating the male ego. Whereas an older woman isn't going to give a fuck as much. If you're not doing it right, she's going to move your hand right down, over, out to make sure that you do it right. Which can be too much for some younger men to tolerate, because an older woman is going to require accountability. So it will require a younger man to show up in confidence or even vulnerability. It isn't this arrogance that most people believe in youth. It's vulnerability to say, I am here to learn what it is that you desire. I am here to share what it is that I desire, and together we will co-create. That type of vulnerability requires emotional maturity to navigate the intensity of feelings. So some younger men do not have, even if they declare that they're an animal, that they're a grown man, that they're all this other shit, some younger men do not have the emotional grit and resilience that is required to stay in connection with or to please an older woman. And of course, there are some older women who also play bullshit games, so they'll get very hooked and then they'll renegotiate things or want it to act non-committal, but actually do want the commitment without daring to say, I'm feeling more and I'm desiring more. What is that going to look like for us? So to those women, I'll say, stop fucking up the game for the other women. Go to therapy and unpack your attachment issues so that way older women can enjoy these connections with younger men, and then you can have a conscious connection regardless of if that lasts for a week or it lasts for a lifetime. And on that note, to younger men, don't assume that a woman is playing games with you. You're gonna more than likely implode the fucking connection by believing that an older woman is playing games like how younger women do. You're in a different arena, sink or swim, but often zip it and ask questions. Number 4, freedom from pressure. So just like younger women, younger men can often also come with desires for marriage or children or mortgages. So older women will enjoy being with younger men because it gives them the freedom to enjoy, to play, to create within their own vitality without the expectations that she must create a home with the man, other than she can say, I can co-create this space with that man. And if we desire something more, we'll navigate it. But more often than not, the older woman that is in the conscious connection doesn't desire more than what she is communicating. And that freedom from conditions allows her to be much more vibrant in the connection. And again, this is another place where younger guys can implode the connection because they don't believe that a woman that is established or a mother or any of these things could actually desire the depth of connection and the consciousness and even the monogamy of the relationship without it being happily ever after. So a man will also often say things like to an older woman, like, I'm not looking for a family, blah, blah, blah. And often the women are incredibly insulted because that means that that man is looking at them as if they are missing something. Older women that are desiring connections with older men already have a family established. They're desiring a connection with a conscious man for all of the reasons that I'm covering. Some of you men need humility instead of audacity. And number 5, emotional payoff. So younger men can often idolize older women when they do have that deeper connection. So that will help kind of mend any of the cultural dismissal by providing an abundance of love, connection, and validation. So when an older woman desires a younger man, it isn't about immaturity or her even proving herself, which is the bullshit that is perpetuated in our culture as if she's making up for her own aging. It's actually about her embodying her worth and choosing freedom. So it's her rewriting the story that culture gives her from where she should be fading to where she centers herself and her desirability again. By request, next up, I'll do why younger women want to be with older men and then flip the script on all of that so we can get an understanding about what we can often see that is perpetuated in culture, why it is perpetuated in culture. I'll do that hopefully tomorrow.
Older women, younger men. Part 3, why are you enjoying dating the younger man? What's he bringing to the table? If he's financially secure, he's not looking at you as a sugar mama. There are a lot of comments where people are saying it's a sugar mama thing. Not necessarily. There are a lot of mid-40s and mid-50s guys that are hugely successful that are not dating an older woman because they've got any money. A lot of comments about people saying, oh, but if it was a guy dating a younger girl, you'd all go, kind of get up in arms about it. That's been going on for centuries, guys. Centuries. And now the women are doing what you're doing and you don't like it? I mean, come on, give us a break. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Pun intended.
So I can't even believe that I'm about to share this, but ever since I turned 40, I've been kind of like checking for younger guys. Now, I'm about to be 43. And I've been checking for them, but I have not had the courage to actually say anything or actually date them. I have not dipped my toe in that pool yet, but I can't be the only person. It's like once I turned 40, I immediately started being like, he is cute. And so I'm inspired by Gabrielle Union, shout out to you, girl, and Jennifer Williams for not only dating younger, but dating younger and they were successful and accomplished. And I think like overall, that's what I would want to go for. But y'all let me know, my 40-year-olds, like we're in a really interesting spot where we're not too young, but we're not too old. Let me know what y'all think. Should I be dating younger? I mean, let me know.
One of the most surprising aspects of being a 53-year-old cougar dating younger men in their 20s and 30s has been their willingness to explore things with women my age that they would never consider exploring with women their own age. Actually, I have a few hypotheses about this. Number one being younger men certainly are very curious, and of course, older women bring experience to the table. So younger men look for older women for this experience. The most important aspect here, I believe, is that younger men feel safe with older women in terms of their exploration. and adventuring, if you will. And this is not a knock against younger women. Please don't take it that way. From my conversations with younger men, they've shared that sometimes when they maybe have pushed the envelope a little, maybe younger women are more apt to laugh or mock or judge a younger man for what he wants to explore. And older women, I don't think typically do that. We're like, yeah, let's bring my experience to the table. Let's have a good time. Let's do what you want to do. Let's try things. And, you know, I don't know their friend network, social network, work network. I'm not out and about with them. There's nobody I can go tell some scandalous piece of information to. It's just really like a friends with benefits or a one-off kind of a thing. And younger men feel safe with this.
I love having a younger boyfriend because anytime I get a scam text, I just screenshot it and send it to him and I go, is this a scam? And he goes, yes, it's very obviously a scam. And I go, okay, yay.
Men between the ages of 25 and 35, studies have shown that these guys have a higher level of emotional intelligence. Now, to add to that study, 40% of men in this age bracket value emotional connection, which is why we're seeing a rise in older women who are above 35 choosing to date men who are in that age bracket. An older woman who has everything she wants and needs in her life simply wants that emotional, deep connection. She wants someone who's going to be there for her mentally and emotionally, and these types of guys seem to be the ones that are showing up and providing that. Now, another trend that I've only seen online, I haven't read any studies, but I've seen it being promoted time and time again, is how men over the age of 40 should only seek to date women who are under 25. Now, there's a very good reason for that. Psychologically, anyone who is under 25, their prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that is responsible for decision making, isn't fully formed. So they're going to be more open and susceptible to manipulation. Now, these older men who I've seen do posts on this time and time again claim that women who are in their age bracket are too much hard work and they demand too much from them. The younger women, however, are much easier to control. That is what I've seen and that is what I've heard. And with the science added in, it makes perfect sense.
I saw a male creator on here the other day talking about how anytime he tries to date older women, they always say things like, you're a baby. You're just a baby. Okay, here's my thing. I'm 39, so I'll be 40 in January. And I do tend to attract like younger guys. So like early 30s. And the thing with you guys is that you were raised by parents who loved you, who cared about you. Us women who are like 39 and up, we were raised by parents who didn't give a shit, okay? So we're so much tougher. We're bitter, we're jaded. We had to do it all on our own. We gotta go for the morning walks on our own. We gotta move across the country alone. We gotta go get the couch at the store alone. So the difference is we're hard and tough as fucking nails at this point, even if we're beautiful, even if we are aging incredibly well. But you guys are kind of like a little too soft for us. That's why we keep saying you're a little baby. You're a little baby.
So I watched another creator's video about how she always dates younger guys. And she even posted one today, 24 and a half and above, but not too old, right? Was her age range. And I thought that was freaking nuts. I'm like, never in my life have I dated a younger guy, just because I feel like not mature, not past their little F-boy stage, probably not established in a career, still trying to build, where it's like, I'm into my late 30s. Like, I'm not looking to build. I'm not looking for a party boy, you know, just at different stages of life. But she completely debunks all my thought process. And I'm like, shit, ladies, in our 30s, should we be looking at the younger guys now? Is that what we're missing? Could these guys do it? Can they still be traditional? Can they be chivalrous? Can they be gentlemen? Not be butthurt by being screwed over by an ex-wife? Let me know. Should we be going for younger guys now? Maybe that's a thing. Is anyone else doing it? Would love to know. Leave it in the comments. Really curious. Thanks, ladies.
I keep seeing all these posts on TikTok of these girls that are in their 30s or late 20s that are dating younger. And I think it's really funny because I'm in my 30s. I'm 33 years old. I have a 9-year-old. I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm ever gonna connect with somebody young. Like, there's just no way. Like, they just want to party, they're wild, like, they, like, have 25 girlfriends. Like, they're never gonna want a 33-year-old mom with a 9-year-old. Well, let me tell you that I was wrong. Okay, I'm dating someone now. I'm 33, he's 25. The most mature person I've ever dated, the most helpful. Anything that I'm like, hey, do you mind just taking the garbage out? Hey, can you do this at work and bring it home? Or hey, can you like help me renovate my laundry room? Doesn't even complain. Just, yeah, of course, for sure. Yeah. Calls me beautiful, like, every single day, all day long. Like, just obsessed with me, which I love. Buys me flowers more than any other guy has ever bought me flowers. Is so sweet. Will literally, after a long day of work, he will cook me dinner. He literally scrubbed my shower the other day. Squeaky clean. I have never dated somebody my age or older than me that has been this attentive, this sweet, this amazing with my son, okay, ever in my entire life. Like, my whole career of dating, I have never had anyone that has been this good. I am here for the cougar life right now. I'm living it, and I have no regrets, honestly. I'm glad I took a chance on someone younger than me, because that was just something that I said I would never do. And I am cool with being a cougar. Like, I'm good with it. Like, things are just freaking peachy over here. So if you guys are having trouble dating in your age bracket, give the younger guy a chance. Just give him a chance. You never know, because I keep seeing all these girls on TikTok that are doing this now, and I swear it's a game changer.
Women over 35 have a 78% chance of ending up with a guy who is younger than them.
At 35, I started dating a guy who was 26. Not intentionally. I wanted to date a guy my own age or older, but these guys had absolutely no interest in me. If I matched with them on a dating app, they would ask me one of two questions. 1, is your hair real or do you dye it that way? And 2, is your age accurate or did you make a mistake inputting it? Like, babe, no one does that but old, creepy men. Regardless, I started dating this 26-year-old, and he was the most emotionally intelligent, empathetic human who seeks to understand experiences that he did not have in his own life. Like, to me, this man is everything I could have dreamed up and more, because I didn't think men were like this or capable of this level of empathy. Like, he is listening to podcasts about menopause to help me with whatever transitions may be coming my way. Also, he's hot, 6'8", and basically a human rose toy. I win.
I don't understand the appeal to older women dating younger guys. Now, I'm not trying to judge, but when I think of a 20-year-old guy, I don't automatically think that would make, like, he would make a good boyfriend, he would make a good spouse, he would make a good husband. There's just something about 20-year-olds that does not scream commitment, especially when you're older. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that there's women out there that like to go after younger guys because, you know, they have more energy, or they're more exciting, or they're more adventurous. But I will happily take an older guy who offers commitment, stability, and routine, like bills being paid on time. And I think another reason why I'm not really into dating younger men, especially men in their 20s, is because I feel like when you're an older woman dating a younger guy, then you become the primary, like, financial contributor to that relationship. AKA, you're paying for every fucking thing. Now, my mentality might change. Like, when I'm 80, 90 years old, then maybe, yes, I will get myself, you know, a younger guy. But for now, I'm sticking with the older men.
Say what? People asking me why. Why are you dating a younger guy? Like, why is he dating you? Look at all these young girls out here, and they're just as pretty. They're better. Why is he not dating a younger girl? I tell you why. It's because this hookup culture has created these women who don't want to stick to one guy. They want to jump around just like the men do. So it's really hard to find a good woman. And us good women have been in relationships, 26-year marriage, where men did not appreciate everything we did for them. So we're looking for guys who will appreciate us, and they're looking for good women. And when we come together, it's like magic. Because look, I'm a traditional woman. I really am. I love taking care of my man. And I have never had a man who appreciated that more than my Alex.
3 things I wish I knew before dating a younger man. 1, the age gap isn't going to be quite as much of an issue as you might initially think it is. Because I think that as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's really more about life experience than it is about numbers. 2, there are some instances where the age gap is going to come into play. Like, for instance, me being in the stage that I'm in versus the gentleman that I was seeing, there's an 8-year difference. There's a lot of things in my life that I've already done that he necessarily hasn't come across yet. And so sometimes there's some fundamental differences on what I'm like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. Like, I keep a normal sleep schedule. Like, I'm very disciplined in that, you know, and he's in a younger life. It's not really a thing for him yet. 3, children. I already have children. I have 3 children of my own. He didn't have any children of his, and that was a conversation that we had. And when you date someone younger, you have to consider the fact that the conversation of children may very well come up, and they may decide that they want to have kids. So I feel like it's good to be on the same page in that regard before you do think about dating someone who's younger than you who also doesn't have children.
The thing about young guys, they are so nice to you because they haven't had their heart broken, you know? So they're not jaded. Like, the worst is like the emotionally unavailable art directors who are like 43 years old.
Yes.
Those guys are like, they just
don't
can't
believe in
feel
love.
anything.
It's never happening. They're numb. 100%.
They won't do things. They won't even pick up their girlfriend from the airport.
Yeah.
They'd be like, that's
Like, I know
a
how this-
lot.
I know this pans out.
They're like, we're not married. Why would I do that? Okay. What's in it for me?
My boyfriend picks up my family from the airport. I'm out here. He's picking them up.
They
driving
will
them.
like give you massages, pick up
He's
food
incredible.
for you.
It's so true.
Rub your feet. Yeah.
And I also feel like the age gap, like, I don't know, past partners of mine, same age or a little older, have like been intimidated by whatever success I've gotten, whether corporate, professional, or stand up. And like, they'll act like it's so cool. And then they're like, oh, wait, you're getting this or that.
Yes.
They get like competitive. And I'm like, just because you're like a closeted artist who's working as like at CFO doesn't mean you could be like kicking me.
My boyfriend's actually younger than me. Cougar.
Wow.
Love that.
Scandalous.
Scandalous.
Good idea. My grandma always says.
Good idea.
Good idea. My grandma always
Like
said
what?
marry younger.
Really?
My
I have never dated anybody younger than me, only older. I've only dated older guys until this one.
You know, it really
How
comes
much
into play
younger?
when you get
Just
older.
like a year? A year.
My grandma married somebody older, and you know, when he started to get old, she was like, "What the like I'm young still, and he's old." So
how much older though?
Not 8-9 years.
Oh. Okay. That's
Yeah.
like
that's
a big,
like a decade.
that's like
it's
a big
bigger
jump. Yeah.
But she would grab me. She'd say, "Francesca, go for the younger guy."
I just can't. I just never.
Not younger, but like a year, like in high school,
Like a nice
college,
little-
like the guys a grade younger than me. I always liked better than
Really?
the boys
I
in my own grade.
It's about the what supply and demand.
Mm.
I completely cut them off from my brain. I only saw older. I didn't even see the kids in my grade.
No,
Like,
no.
it was like
You're like-
strictly like it was just like only up.
Older women really need to just abandon their morals and start dating younger people like older guys do. I'm a ripe, fresh 20-year-old in my physical prime, and you can take me away from all this. I can treat you right. Yes, this was about Sophia Falcone.
So let's talk about dating a younger guy. Yeah. I kind of think I'm just going to reside to this, but you tell me.
Guys, when men want something, it's immediate. I think I've been on 500 first dates. I've dated 40-year-old men that are
It's
less
irrelevant.
mature.
It's all about an individual person. I have been on dates with 26-year-olds that didn't know where the paper towels were in their house, and I've had 26-year-olds that have cooked me 3-course meals. Like, it is not about the age, it's about the maturity.
Do you want a guy who has to be 30, or do you want someone who's emotionally intelligent? If I had let my boyfriend's age become a factor, I wouldn't be the happiest person in the world right now.
Yo guys, what's up guys? It's me, over here to my good friend. What's your name?
Louise.
Luis. Where are you from, Luis?
I'm from Marbella in Spain,
Ooh, from Spain.
but I'm English.
But English?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't speak Spanish?
Not as good as I should.
Not as good as you should. Okay, okay. All right, look, listen. So today's question is, would you ever consider dating someone younger than you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. And what would be the youngest guy you would date?
Oh, well, it depends how old do you think I am.
Now
that's good. Yeah, that's
I mean, I look at you and you could easily pass for like 28. So would you ever consider dating someone that's, let's say, 24?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yes.
Perfect. And what would be the youngest you would date? 18?
No, probably 24.
24?
If you think I'm 28, I would go for 24.
You would go for... Yeah, okay. But knowing your age, what would be the youngest you would date?
Maybe 45.
45? What if he's 24? Knowing your age, right, of course. What if he's 24 but he's super mature? Would you consider it?
Probably not.
Probably not?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm a little bit too old for that.
You're a little bit too old?
I'm 55.
You're 55. You wouldn't consider dating someone that's, let's say, 30? If anything? If he's super mature, he's on his shit, you know?
Maybe if you're super mature, yes.
Super mature, yeah. So never say never, right? Of course.
Never say never, absolutely.
Older women dating younger men. I saw this trend, and so I thought I'd make a comment on it because I have been in a 9-year relationship with a guy that is 15 years younger than me. I was in my early 40s, and he was 15 years younger than that. You do the math. And initially, he had pursued me, and I was just out of a very long marriage, and I thought this is perfect because A, he kept pursuing me, and B, I thought he can just like teach me how to date because I had never really dated in my entire life. So I went into the situation thinking this is not going to be long-term. And quite honestly, I think that created a lot of problems in the beginning of our relationship. Even though I did truly care about him as a person, there was this feeling that I just wasn't as emotionally invested. So every time he would want more out of the relationship, I was always questioning, like, why? Like, where do you think this is going? Like, why do you want to spend more time together? Like, why do you want to get to know my children? Like, I literally, really honestly did not look at it as long-term in the beginning. And in his defense, I don't think he did either. I think what he did really well is he treated me like a normal person that he would date. And I think that was the biggest mistake that I made, is that I didn't treat him like I would a normal person that was in my age range. I sort of kept him at arm's length, and I really went very long without really immersing him in my life. And for obvious reasons, it's because of the age difference. And so the more and more he pursued the fact that he wanted to get involved in my life, and that when we would have conflict, his focus was, how do I resolve the conflict that's going to make the relationship better? And quite honestly, going through that with someone like that, it just makes you feel like, okay, like they're invested and maybe this can be a good relationship. So as time went on, it just sort of maintained a positive relationship in my life. And don't get me wrong, we definitely had regular relationship problems. Like, we fought about different things. I had children, and that of course is always a factor. But the biggest thing that I think you need to consider is that when you're dating anyone, you have to look at them as a person and not a number. So many prejudgments about him was because he was so much younger than me. And don't get me wrong, like, that's pretty valid. I think that's kind of the hesitancy there. I forgot to mention this earlier, but early on in the relationship, he had a business and it started doing really, really well. So it's not a financial thing. In fact, he has always made more money than me. So my advice is, if you want to start dating, I think you should date someone if they meet the standards of a person that you are truly interested in. Look for someone that meets those standards. Don't just look at a number. Now, the only time it actually really matters is if, do they want to get married? Are you going to have children together? But again, those are factors you would consider in any age. So it's important to really evaluate all of that, no matter what the age is. Now, has there been obvious differences in our age? Absolutely. And as mature as he might be, as successful as he might be as a business owner, there's still things that I recognize, like, okay, yeah, that's just because he's young. But overall, I would say it's been a really positive relationship. Do I know the long-term future? I mean, I don't know if anyone ever does. Like, I think you hope for the best and you want to have a long-term relationship with people that you love and you've invested time in. But I mean, people break up all the time. Anyway, so if you're thinking about it, considering it, I mean, why not? I mean, at least have fun. And I think younger men typically like older women because there's no drama, and it's very lighthearted, and they have their life together and they're super busy. And so it could be really, you could find yourself compatible with someone. So give it a try.
Is it true that some of you don't know that you're not supposed to sleep with undergarments on? Women, she needs to breathe. Let her breathe. You know, especially if you're an older woman that dates younger men, you know, you just have to like stay on that stuff because, I mean, those younger guys are active. My 20-year-old daughter just told me that her friends had never heard that before. My mom and my grandma, my aunts, everyone has told me that since I was a little girl. Especially if you're susceptible to yeast infections and things down there. You know, some people are, it just happens. What? I thought everyone knew this. So if your mama didn't tell you, this mama and grandma's telling you. I mean, at night, I just sleep in like a nightshirt. You know, like your grandma wears, like a short little nightshirt with nothing underneath. Just be free, you know what I mean? Let her live. She needs to breathe.
The male sex drive is strong. And as women are going to be mating with a smaller and smaller percentage of men, the government is not going to know what to do with all of these older women. We're going to have women that are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old without a husband, and the government does not know what to do with them. So we're going to see relationships like this, and we're already starting to see it marketed to young men. They are going to keep trying to convince young men to lower their standards. It's why you see people trying to normalize dating overweight women. The next trend is going to be old women. Young men and old women. Again, the male sex drive is strong. And if women get together and say, we're not going to be thin, we're all going to get big, men start to date bigger women. If women get together and they say, well, we're not going to come as virgins, we're not going to come pure anymore, the men will adapt. Again, 100 years ago, men got like a 22-year-old virgin wife who stayed with him for a lifetime. And yet you still see guys signing up, even though the value is way, way lower. We've talked about this on the show. There is always a what? Simp. There's always a guy that'll do it.